Navigating through the solar system is pretty tricky, but it's doable when you take advantage of planetary flybys. So what exactly is a planetary flyby? Let's find out right now on Vintage Space. A flyby might sound straightforward, like flying by something in an airplane, but when you're dealing with something the size of planets, there's a lot more going on. Everything in space, planets, moons, asteroids, and spacecraft have a gravitational pull, but the largest objects, in this case the planets, have the strongest gravitational pull. When a spacecraft passes by a planet, the spacecraft actually tugs on the planet with its own gravity, but the planet is so much larger that its gravitational impact on the spacecraft is much more noticeable. A planet imparts a boost of speed onto a passing spacecraft. It's a transfer of angular momentum, and the more planets it flies by, the more boosts that spacecraft gets in terms of speed. But there's a little bit more going on because planets aren't stationary. Planets are orbiting the sun and also rotating around their own axes. It's that planetary motion, its orbit around the sun, and rotation around its own axis that actually bends a spacecraft's trajectory as it passes by. A spacecraft passing through the Jovian or Saturnian system could pass by a handful of the moons, bouncing from satellite to satellite before carrying on along its altered path as affected by the gravity of the host planet. This is how the Voyager spacecraft has had the mission that it has. It was launched on a trajectory that would take it by Jupiter and then use a gravity assist to send it on to Saturn. Voyager 2 followed in its footsteps, except Voyager 2 had an interesting option. Voyager 2 had the option of going through the Saturnian system in a slightly different path than Voyager 1, so that if Voyager 1 had all the right data, Voyager 2 could take this alternate path, look at different moons, take different measurements, and then continue on a trajectory that would see it pass by Uranus and then Neptune. And what's so great about using planetary flybys is that the motions of the planets are regular and we can track them. So we can know exactly when a planet is going to be where, and we can know how to launch a spacecraft such that it takes advantage of all the right alignments. In a previous video, I talked about a mission that would send men to Venus using Apollo Air technology. It was a 1966 proposal for a 1973 mission. But there were other studies that came from Belcom on this topic, some that used multi-planet flyby trajectories to send men to Venus and then to Mars, or to Venus, to Mars, and then back to Venus before coming back to the Earth. So what do you guys think? It would be a really long trip, but would you take advantage of as many planetary flybys as you could for one awesome mission bouncing around planets? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter as AST Vintage Space for Vintage Space content every day of the week. And with new episodes every Tuesday and Friday, don't forget to subscribe right here so you never miss an episode.